Hello and welcome to the Mindful Millionaire podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Peterson, and today we'll be diving into the brow chakra. So, I have created this framework to help people change their behavior and mindset when it comes to money. And I use the chakras to show people how we can do that so that you can drop away lack and scarcity ways of thinking and create greater prosperity for yourself. If you haven't listened to the other podcasts in this series, I want to encourage you to do that. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about the imbalances in the brow or third eye chakra. If you're new to my work, this series of podcasts will give you a stronger foundation of things that I explore in my upcoming book, The Mindful Millionaire, which will be out June 16th, 2020. You might also like to take my chakra and money quiz, which you can reach at wealthclinic.com. So the chakra system is the way that the spirit moves within the physical body and how the spirit animates form. The chakras can be imagined as wheels of energy spinning to create balance and openness for optimal human function. If stagnation appears within the chakra system, the physical body can be affected with unease, depression, and even illness. Chakras are energy systems where the organs have defined locations. The chakras are not going to be something that you're going to find on an X-ray machine, right? These are energy centers. The heart chakra, for example, is at the center of the chest, while the physical heart is on the left side. So we're taking some liberties in understanding how these parts of our body connect together. But today we're looking at the integrative lens, the brow chakra. The third eye is located at the center of the forehead near the pineal gland. The pineal gland is known as the third eye in the Hindu system, and a closed ajna is said to lead to confusion, uncertainty, cynicism, and pessimism. Every esoteric tradition heralded the third eye as our connection to spirit. It's the space between humans and God, moving from the isolation experienced in the human condition to the divine connection. And through an open and vibrant third eye, we find our highest source of ethereal energy. A return path to God is offered when one works to expand the third eye awareness. Imagine being able to function in your life more fully, living more creatively and harmoniously, understanding people and their motives in a far deeper way, letting go of destructive patterns and habits, and navigating life with more surety and better results. These are the sorts of things that get awakened through the brow chakra. Higher levels of consciousness, accessing your deepest intuition and decision making, manifesting new realities, and attracting only the highest and most pure energies into your life. All of this is possible through the balancing of your third eye. It is known as the seat of your consciousness, the bridge between the ordinary you and the super conscious you. It's like a portal bringing down the light and the wisdom to your soul and the means of seeing the world from a higher vantage as an unfolding mosaic of energy and intention and light and shadow. When you open it, you're given a backstage pass to understanding reality at a deeper level. So it also, like I said, connects into the pineal gland, and there's a lot of interesting information out there. The pineal gland's location in the brain is seen to have this intimate, hidden importance. And in the days before its function as a physical eye that could see beyond space-time, and even Rene Descartes, going way back, believed that the human pineal gland to be a principal seat of the soul. So the pineal gland, if you're not familiar, is a small endocrine gland in the brain of most vertebrates, and it produces melatonin, a serotonin-derived hormone, which modulates sleep patterns in both the circadian and the seasonal cycles. And the shape of the gland resembles a pine cone, which is where it got its name. So, before we can learn to navigate our inner space, we must learn to ground ourselves in energy and the earth so that we can return easily from our heady adventures. And we must learn to kind of tune out, shut down the reptilian brain, and learn to become more fearless, control our urges, and get rid of all the bad karma and psychic baggage that many of us know that we've been holding on to. And the sixth chakra helps us do that. It's this sense of being enough, of having enough. And here you're being guided to this profound realization where you can live fully and freely as a human being. If you're struggling with this chakra, you may have trouble going beyond the small self ego and accessing your true self. It is this awareness that there is so much here for you to experience as part of the human condition, but also the divine connection. Of when we are activating this chakra, it strengthens our intuition and sensitivity to the higher planes of existence. And it's also about, when I think about money, it's tuning into our sense of highest good. During your preteens, you're developing your self-image for its unveiling at around the time of puberty. And during this time when you're maturing sexually, you're also learning about how you feel about yourself, your gender, your sexuality, your intellect, and your intuitive abilities. If you're able to ultimately see, understand, and accept your truths from a place of love, you gain the ability to set goals and solve problems from this place of understanding. However, if the opposite occurs, you may find yourself being continuously challenged when it comes to creating all that you wish for, and especially tuning into your intuitive vision and understanding. So, one of the ways that just translates into your relationship with money is by replaying the rhetoric around which part of yourself is most worthy and accurate when making decisions with money. So, your heart speaks to the importance of following your gut and your intuition with money decisions, while your mind encourages you to pay attention to the facts and the numbers and the spreadsheets. And this back and forth conversation can make it very difficult to decide what to do next, which can result in complacency or decisions that lack introspective thought. And so, for many years, it's been thought that the emotional and intuitive energy weakens our ability to make decisions that affect us economically, and that intellectual capabilities weaken our ability to make decisions that affect us emotionally. However, within the past 50 years, the thought has been growing that when the heart and the mind come together, we're able to make more balanced and unified decisions than otherwise. The problem is that we're still figuring out how to do this, right, at this time. And the trick is to learn how to make decisions that include all parts of you. And that's how I think of the brow chakra. It's bringing everything together. When it's balanced, you feel this sense of your intuition and a perspective guidance around, the dollars and cents when it comes to your money. This helps you be in touch with your sixth sense, which allows you to visualize the outcomes of your decisions before you even make them. And this becomes reflected in how easily you are able to make decisions that you know are best for you. And then you move forward and you engage in life from this place of the heart and the mind. Some quotes that I came across that apply to, I think, the brow chakra. John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard Investments, said, "Time is your friend and impulse is your enemy." So the time-space dimension gets expanded when we tune into the third eye, and realizing that sometimes we need to be patient for the best decisions to come forth. Another that I love is by Daniel Pink, who was on my Art of Abundance podcast. He said, "What's important now are the characteristics of the brain's right hemisphere: artistry, empathy, inventiveness, big picture thinking. These skills have become first among equals in a whole range of business fields." Warren Buffett said, "I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business." And finally, Robert Kiyosaki said, "Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone." So, I wanted to share a story that I feature in the Mindful Millionaire book about Carolyn. And Carolyn came to me after listening to my podcast and reading my blogs, and she knew that there was some disconnects that were happening in her experiences with money. She had always been good with money. She'd always been able to make, the everything come together, and she was able to save and invest, and she was doing a great job. But the one area she was struggling in was being able to bring in her deepest passions into the work that she was doing. And this involved bringing her intuitive gifts that she had had for as long as she could remember into work that she would be paid for. So many times she was a healer, and people would come to her and ask her questions about life's challenges and things that they were struggling with. And she was always able to sort of point them in the right direction of how they could help themselves more. But what she found was she was not able to get paid for that activity, and she didn't know how. And a lot of her business activities were very traditional ways of making money. She was assisting a company that her brother had started, and she was involved in a lot of different activities. But what she wanted to know was, how could she bring more of her wisdom and intelligence into, and the things she learned about business in with her intuition and her intuitive gifts. And so as we got into her story, it turned out that she had a lot of experiences when she was young, having dealt with some serious health issues that had caused her to really cause her mom a great deal of concern. And it took some time for them to find out what was going on with her. But in the meantime, there were a lot of social things that were happening where she would end up feeling excluded in her friend groups. And as a result of that, there was this feeling that something was wrong with her, that she didn't fit in, that she wasn't able to bring all parts of herself. The fact that she was very intuitive into common conversation. This happens for a lot of us, right? We have these intuitive gifts, and yet we're kind of uncomfortable about sharing them with the world. And so as we got in and did the breakthrough work, and she was able to see the paradigm that told her in the past that she wasn't able to bring these parts of ourselves into one and actually charge other people for the work and for the healing that she was doing, and for all these other gifts that she brought into the lives of others. She was able to see that paradigm and realize that that wasn't how she wanted to be living anymore. And as she started to drop away these beliefs that said that she couldn't reveal this part of herself into the world, she started to become more integrated as a person. She started to bring these gifts together into one. And interesting enough, when this work was complete, she felt like a very different person, so much so that she had always wanted to write a book, and she started channeling her voice into writing a book and getting it published in a very short amount of time. It was actually amazing. And what I saw was that as the paradigm that told her that she couldn't bring these worlds together kind of fell down, and she started to create a new paradigm for herself, she was able to navigate life so much more easily, so much from this place of creativity, that anything is possible, that she is enough. And that was so exciting for her, that it just allowed her to feel more joy in life and to be more expressive in the things that were important to her. And so one of the things she said is, all of her life, she had used her strengths to survive. Yet in reality, she realized that she'd been using her strengths as a shield that were blocking her from using her innate gifts and energy that would actually invite her to be in more flow with life. A few quotes on the other side of this chakra that stuck out to me. One was that Ray Dalio said, some people spend a lot of time and effort accomplishing very little, while others do a lot in the same amount of time. What differentiates people who can do a lot from those who can't is creativity, character, and wisdom. And what I've seen is that the more we allow ourselves to access this creativity, this character, and this wisdom, the fuller our life becomes, because we're able to express the things and bring into manifestation the things that are most important to us. And we can also channel this divine wisdom through us and into the work that we do, which ends up causing our work to become even more creative. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where we lean into it and it becomes more and more. So, what matters most is that for you in this moment, you're tuning into the balance and harmony that you have between the intuition and the wisdom and the experience, life experience, and teaching and trainings that you've received. Are you bringing them together and integrating them? And I invite you to know more deeply, how this is playing out in your life and what it is that you're wanting to create for yourself going forward. You may find yourself doing a list, an inventory of like your deepest passions and the things that maybe you've been afraid of sharing with the world in the past, paying attention to those, writing those down, and then also noticing all the wisdom and all the training and all the teaching and all the experience that you've received. And then as you start to look at those two lists, you might see how those can come more together rather than being two separate parts of yourself. How can they support and grow and help your life to become more enjoyable and creative? You may also notice that when you tune into your intuition, you may find that there are things that you've been wanting to invest in and that you might want to donate money towards, because things that you're really passionate about that you haven't tuned into yet, when you do, you want to direct your money into these really cool you know nonprofits or things that you're really passionate about supporting. So finally, if you have an interest in the brow chakra, you might want to listen to my brow chakra meditation that we'll be giving you access to in the show notes. And I really hope that this conversation has been helpful to you. The brow chakra and the awakening and the opening of the third eye is nothing short of absolutely astounding. There's so much to be understood about ourselves. And I love the ability to focus in on the pineal gland, on the third chakra, and see what it is ready to reveal to you. Thank you so much. Namaste.